Okay, everybody, ready to start. Oh, A-Kon, don't you dare be sour. Clap your hands for Danganwrestling. Okay. All right, so some of you, when you came into this panel, got some POGs, some free POGs. I only made 63 of them because I didn't know many people would show up, so sorry if you didn't get one. But I'll be using these later in like a trivia portion of the panel where you can win some prizes, so keep those if you got them. So anyway, my name's Alfredo. This is my co-host. Okay, yeah.
Caitlin. Hello.
She's like the general manager of Danganwrestling. We're here to talk about Danganronpa and wrestling. So I want to ask you guys a couple of questions first. How many of you are already familiar with Danganronpa? Okay, a lot of hands. Okay, good. How many of you watch or are familiar with WWE? Okay, good. Now here's the real question. How many of you already know about Danganwrestling? Okay, that's good. I'm going to teach you guys about this thing. All right, so I'm going to warn you right now that there are going to be spoilers for Danganronpa 1. There won't be anything super major, but you might find out who dies in Danganronpa 1. No spoilers for Danganronpa 2. There'll be some spoilers for Danganwrestling, but considering I wrote it, I don't think it's going to negatively impact your experience if you watch it. I'm just going to summarize a few events of the series to pique your interest or whatever. And finally, there will be no spoilers for WWE because Roman Reigns is going to win all the time, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I know. I don't like him either. But come on, he's not a bad guy. He's just the guy. Yeah, seriously. Let's go, AJ Styles. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's start off with a quote from the great philosopher John Cena. Pro wrestling is anime. This is going to be the theme of the presentation and Danganwrestling as a whole. And maybe this will convince some of you fans who don't watch WWE, but I'm going to warn you right now, don't watch WWE, go watch Lucha Underground instead.
Yes.
Alright, so I guess the best way to introduce you guys to Danganwrestling is to show you. So I'm going to show you a little trailer I made for the series after I finished making it. So check this out. Is the volume good? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, Danganwrestling is a crossover between Danganronpa and WWE and a bunch of other stuff. It was a video series made primarily in WWE 2K14, the video game, because it lets you make your own characters and lets you make your own story and stuff like that. The newer games don't let you do that. That sucks, but whatever. If you ever heard of VGCW, it's kind of like that, but I made this weird wrestling thing way before that. Let's see. Also, there's Persona and Street Fighter, Ace Attorney, all that stuff. It's a bunch of stuff I put in there because I liked, and I had no regard whether the audience would get it or not. Because this all started as just a dumb joke for me, but then it got way out of hand, as you'll see. Still, it's primarily a Danganronpa focused series, so if you're a fan of DR, but you don't know anything about wrestling or Persona or whatever, you can still enjoy it. And John Cena is basically an anime character already, so it's fine. Alright, this is how it all began. You might be asking, why? You might be asking, why did you do this? And also thinking, I hate you. Well, it's all because of this picture I found on Tumblr. So I saw a bunch of people were making Persona 4 characters in these wrestling games, and I thought it was super awesome. And I started playing Danganronpa, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to finish this game and find all the weird wrestling stuff people made on the internet with Danganronpa. And then I looked online, and there was nothing. Nobody had made a single wrestling Danganronpa fan art or anything, so I took it upon myself to buy a copy of WWE 2K14 and make my own Danganronpa wrestling content. And you're welcome, and I'm sorry. So Danganwrestling is a 6-part series on my YouTube channel with a few special episodes thrown in there. Episode 1 through 3 are the dumb jokes. I wrote them on the fly. I had no direction. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just writing dumb jokes as it came to my head. And it's not until episode 4 that I got serious about telling a story or writing the script ahead of time and planning out the plot. So I finished the series episode 6 at the beginning of last year, and later revisited episode 5, which is the class trial. And if there's only one episode of Danganwrestling that you would watch, I would suggest watching episode 5 special edition. I put the most work into it, and you'll see that as we go through the episodes here. So let's start with chapter 1. So let's see. All right, here's the summary of chapter 1. So Monokuma uses his crazy anime powers to take over Monday Night Raw, which is WWE's live Monday night TV show, in an effort to start a new mutual killing game in the WWE universe. He starts off by sending the champion John Cena to hell by chokeslamming him through the ring, as we saw in the trailer. I'm going to go through some of the characters in Danganwrestling. So, as you probably expect, Monokuma is the main villain of Danganwrestling. He takes over Monday Night Raw, like I said, and he traps everybody in the arena, including the audience, all the WWE superstars, and won't let anyone leave until someone kills someone else. And it's Danganronpa, because that's how it works, you know. He also brings over some students from Hope Peak Academy and forms an alliance with Triple H to get the WWE superstars to kill children on live TV, because that will surely bring despair, or whatever he's into. Yeah, seriously, no PG. Rated M. So this is the main character of Danganwrestling. It's Kyoko Kirigiri, and if you know Danganronpa, you know her. Sorry, Makoto fans, I like Kirigiri more. Well, a lot of how I treat these characters in this series is how I felt about them in the original Danganronpa. So it's like, when I first started writing this series, it was like I keep saying it's a joke. It was a joke at first. So I didn't really take writing Kirigiri in character very seriously. So the Kirigiri in Danganwrestling may at first seem different than what you're used to, because she's like super emotional, and she has a really short temper and can't believe how stupid everyone around her is, because it's like a commentary on how contrived the situations are in Danganronpa. This is the best character. Yeah, I'm glad you guys agree with me. Yeah. So the super high school level ultra martial artist is probably best suited for wrestling, right? But this is Danganronpa, which is all about subverting your expectations. So oddly enough, she doesn't do much wrestling in Danganwrestling until the later episodes. She mainly acts as the voice of reason among the Host Peak students. But there is one person who actually likes being in the WWE universe, and that is Aoi Asahina. And from the game, she seemed like the type of person that would be a fan of John Cena, so I wrote her that way. And also in the first episode of Danganwrestling, she wrestles The Rock, and then The Rock never shows up again in the story, because I forgot about him. But you can also make up your own like headcanon theories about how she killed The Rock or something, I don't know. Here's Triple H, the game, the King of Kings. Much like in the actual WWE product, Triple H plays an authority role in this story. he's not necessarily a bad guy, but he's working with Monokuma to boost the ratings of Monday Night Raw and up the subscription numbers to the WWE network, which you can get for just only $9.99 a month. Yeah, seriously, that's for business. That's all Triple H cares about. And yeah, here's Sagat too. You might be asking why I put Sagat in this thing. It's because like around the time I made this, Cesaro, the wrestler, had an eye injury, so he wore like an eye patch on his eye. He looked a lot like Sagat. So I just wanted to put Sagat in there. In this story, Monokuma hires him as an enforcer. So like in the game, if nobody kills anyone, then he's going to be the one to instigate the killing game, starting it himself. And you know, there he is fighting Monokuma, whatever. Alright, here's a clip from episode 1, which is basically the beginning of the series, of the episode. Hopefully you can read it. I'm sorry if you can't. Moving on to episode 2, which is Shadows. And so in episode 2, we revisit John Cena after he was chokeslammed through the ring, and he has to fight his way out from under it. It's also the first appearance of Toko Fukawa in the series, if you're a fan of Fukawa. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Also, at the end of the series, somebody gets murdered. And you saw in the trailer who gets murdered, but we'll get to that soon enough. Here's John Cena. I'm sure you know of him. John Cena. You can consider his ultimate talent being the ultimate babyface. He's a better poster boy for hope than Makoto, because Cena always overcomes the odds. But in this series, there's one thing he cannot overcome, and that is anime. So here's where Shadow John Cena comes in. If you're a fan of Persona 4, you know what's up here. Shadow John Cena is a manifestation of Cena's inner self, inner feelings, that he doesn't want anyone to know about. And for John Cena, his hidden passion is all things kawaii, moe, and anime. So by facing Shadow John Cena, he's able to unlock his hidden anime power within the sea of his soul and the whatever made manifest. You get to Persona. Here's Cody Rhodes. He recently left WWE. That sucks, but he plays a very small role in Danganronpa, but he plays a huge role throughout the series. But right now, his main characteristic is he has a mustache, because in the game he had a mustache, so whatever. Unlike other WWE superstars, he's against Monokuma and Triple H from the beginning and tries to help the Hope Street kids with his brother Goldust. Here's Fukawa. Cody finds Fukawa unconscious in the parking lot. And Fukawa in Danganronpa doesn't really play a huge role. She's mainly comic relief, but I know people like her, so. And much like John Cena, Fukawa also has a hidden part of herself, a certain genocidal part of herself. You all know it. She shows up in the story too, so don't worry. And moving on to this character, Junko Enoshima. Spoilers! Junko dies in Danganronpa. Yeah, she's the first person to get murdered. And at the very end of this episode, someone hits her with a car because it's wrestling, and when you're backstage and you want to hurt someone, you hit them with a car. The majority of the series revolves around Junko's death, so she really doesn't play an important role in the series. She plays an important role in the series despite not doing much. And again, it mirrors Danganronpa in a way. If you like Danganronpa, you know who Junko is. So whatever. Here's a clip from episode 2 explaining the whole Shadow John Cena thing. you'll have to watch the episode to see that fight. Alright. Episode 3, Ghost Problems. If you're a fan of Giant Bomb, maybe you can get the reference there. Anyway, Chapter 3, all this stuff happens. The murder investigation begins because, Junko died. But Monokuma has lost the Monokuma file, which is the little file he has on the murder. And this frustrates Kirigiri to no end, and she gets super pissed and starts attacking a bunch of wrestlers. I told you this Kirigiri is very emotional, but there's a reason for it. I wrote a reason for it. Also, there's ghosts or something, whatever. Any Mark Henry fans in the audience? So, Mark Henry is the world's strongest man, and Mark Henry is actually a very special character for me because he shows up in all my other wrestling stories besides Danganronpa. He plays a big role in Mortal Kombat vs. WWE, which was my first wrestling story on YouTube, and he also shows up in Undertale Wrestling if you've seen that. I don't know. Anyway, Mark Henry is the one that finds Monokuma's files, but he wants to trade it for a pizza because everyone is stuck in the arena. He doesn't want to get, paid the concession stand prices for a pizza. So he wants to trade the Monokuma file for a pizza. Oh, any Mizono fans out there? Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, okay, so in Danganronpa, Saika's already dead because she died in Danganronpa 1. Before everyone got transported to the WWE universe. And now she wants revenge on everyone outliving her. And you'll see that in the upcoming clip I'm just going to show. There's Stardust, he's the reason I started watching wrestling again in the first place. When I found out Cody Rhodes was painting his face like his brother Goldust, I started watching wrestling again. So in the Danganronpa series, it explains Stardust's origins of how Cody Rhodes became Stardust. Basically, his mustache gets removed, and that unlocks his inner Stardust because in the Danganronpa universe, facial hair is a magic inhibitor. And he also has magic anime powers that can rival Monokuma. Alright, here's a clip of episode 3. Here is where things get good. This is when I actually started caring about writing a story, which I was telling. So episode 4, the murder investigation continues, but this time the story is told in a visual novel format. And it's something I wanted to do from the beginning. I wanted to change the way that the story was told because I was tired of using the WWE 2K14 story editor to make this dumb story or whatever. So in this episode, John Cena finally returns from under the ring, and Monokuma invites a lawyer to participate in the upcoming class trial. Here's Goldust, this is Cody's brother. Goldust has been one of my favorite WWE superstars for a very long time, so I had to include him in the story. And much like many of you, I'm sure, Goldust loves to dress up. He loves using the cosplay, so he's pretending to be a pirate with eye patch and stuff. I don't know. Unfortunately, during the investigation, Kirigiri finds a bunch of evidence linking Goldust to the murder of Junko. So Goldust seeks legal counsel in order to defend him, and that legal counsel is Athena Sykes from the Ace Attorney series. It's the latest one on the 3DS. It's not a game that many people have played. Even Ace Attorney fans haven't played it. Some of them haven't, so I doubt many people are familiar with her. But I like her. I could have used Phoenix Wright. Everyone knows who Phoenix Wright is, but I didn't want to. I wanted to use Athena. So I made this story to include all of my love, which includes this game. Anyway, she's Golda's defense attorney, and Monokuma lets her into the arena because the class trial has never handled lawyers before. So he thinks she'll make things interesting, and this is like a dream matchup if you're like a fan of both these series of Danganronpa versus Ace Attorney, because they're both like murder mystery games. Here's a clip of 4. It shows you what the visual novel format looks like. Alright, this is it. This is the best episode of the series. Like I said, if you want to watch one, watch this episode. Danganronpa 5 Special Edition. I put a ton of work to it, like more than 3 months of work into this episode. Episode 5 is a Episode 5 Special Edition is a remake of the original Episode 5, which I put out. I totally remade the episode from the ground up, updating the visuals and rewriting parts of the script, and, well, I'll let you see how much the production values have improved, especially if you're a fan of the games. So check out this trailer for Danganronpa 5 Special Edition.
Hope versus despair, scheduled for one fall.
Champion, a new turn is back from business.
I'm the super consul, detective. Whoa! Spoilers, Gary!
What does it matter? My product is finished. Someone on your laser blade. Juice.
When it comes to uncovering the truth.
You like some cornflakes?
Mustard here, Gary. I'm a cold man who get people's shoes. Was that when you let people's shoes off? So am I.
I have thousands of fans in the WWE universe that would love to lick my shoes. What did you just that key from my tights?
No, so not. Lisa, disaster for you.
Okay, so this is the infamous class trial. And much like the game, the class trial is fully voiced. At least in the special edition it is. The original version didn't have voice acting. What I really wanted to do this from the beginning is have the class trial be fully voice acted. So I got together a super talented group of amateur voice actors. It was my first time doing this sort of voice direction thing, and I learned a lot from it. And if any of these voice actors ever become famous, you know they came from Danganronpa. So, new to the episode 5 special edition is a totally revamped visuals of this episode. Originally, I used a bunch of PSP sprites from the Danganronpa 1 that you can find online wherever, but they're super low resolution when blown up to HD and look terrible. So in episode 5, I made my own high resolution sprites by buying a Vita TV and taking a screenshot of every single portrait in that game and making high res sprites out of it. This was way before the Steam version came out, so if you use high res sprites on the internet for Danganronpa, you have me to thank for that. Oh yeah, since Athena is part of the class trial, this episode incorporates elements of both Danganronpa and Ace Attorney. I tried my hardest to make the class trial look exactly like it does in the games, except for the dumb mini-games, because no one likes those. Alright, here's a clip of what the non-stop debates look like.
So you admit it?
Yes, I admit to wearing an eye patch on my left eye.
You mean a proud killer? You don't go!
What? No! I didn't do that!
In your testimony, it clearly states that the killer wore the eye patch on the left eye. You must be the killer.
Could you repeat that in a non-stop debate?
What? Why?
Because the presentation just intrigues me. Shooting metaphorical bullets at your opponent to reveal the truth. Much more exciting than simply pointing at people.
Okay. Fine. Goldust must be the killer. The killer wore the eye patch on the left eye. There's no room for any doubts.
Objection!
That looked cool, huh? Alright. This is Danganwrestling, the Halloween special. It's technically episode 5.5. It came out Halloween 2014, and I specifically made it to capitalize on the popularity of this one video I made on YouTube. I'll let you watch it. So, I accidentally tricked a lot of people with this video. So the history of this is that in Hell in a Cell 2014 in Dallas, the main event was Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, and a hologram girl appeared in the ring as a distraction. And I thought it'd be really funny to edit it so that I would put Hatsune Miku as a hologram girl in place of it. And when I uploaded it, a lot of people thought it was real, to the point where there were Japanese news sites writing about how Hatsune Miku appeared at a WWE event. I wasn't trying to trick anybody. I just thought it'd be funny. But then all these comments on the video are like, it's fake. I'm like, no, it's fake. Anyway, the video blew up. It got like 50,000 views in like a couple of weeks, and I tried to capitalize it by making a Danganronpa episode about it. Oops, playing the video again. So this episode is about Dean Ambrose looking for the girl of his dreams. And also there's scary stuff like the Boogeyman and Bray Wyatt and Dark Magicians and Vampires. And this is not canon. So this episode stars Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe, trying to find the digital diva Hatsune Miku because of the events of Hell in a Cell. Dean becomes so enthralled by this anime girl that he begins to endanger both himself and everyone around him because waifu culture is a dangerous thing. Here's Hatsune Miku. She might look a little different. The reason for this is the WWE games do not let you normally have female wrestlers fight male wrestlers. The way I was able to get around this is by making my own wrestlers. I made it off like a hacked version of a female wrestler that the game thinks is male. But I didn't have enough time to make my own Miku wrestler, so I downloaded Miku from the community creations, and they wouldn't let me let her fight Dean Ambrose. But somebody, for some reason, actually made a version of Triple H that cosplays as Miku. I don't know why, but it worked perfectly for me, so I made it her combat mode, because she's a robot and she can do that or something, I don't know. Let's see. Here's everyone's favorite. I used to like Roman until he became champion. Let's see. Roman is friends with Dean Ambrose, and he wants to help him by finding Miku before him. So he enlists the help of the Hope's Peak students to contact the spirit of Sayaka Maizono to help find a fellow pop star. And I've always thought Roman looked like a vampire. And his name is Roman Reigns. That's like a really vampire-sounding name. So he may or may not be a vampire in Danganronpa. Yeah. Oh yeah, you see that little clip there? That's a preview of the next episode. There's some characters that might show up in chapter 6, which is the final episode of Danganronpa. I'm not going to say much about this episode because there's a lot of spoilers for the series. It's the final episode after all. So Danganronpa 6 has a 2-part episode where the ultimate despair of the WWE universe reveals itself, and John Cena finally gets to fight with his anime power. Some Danganronpa 2 characters show up, make some small cameos, so go watch it if you're into Danganronpa 2. Let's see this clip of John Cena doing cool stuff. About it for Danganronpa. I want to talk about one other project I made, which is Undertale Wrestling. I don't know if any of you are fans of Undertale. Anyone know Undertale? Okay, got a few Undertale fans out there. So I made Undertale Wrestling in like a week, and because of how crazy the fandom is, it blew up and it has like 300, 1,000 views on YouTube or whatever. Because Undertale fans are crazy. I'm going to show you this clip of Undertale Wrestling. Just, also, if you're wary about Undertale spoilers, there may be some character spoilers in here if you haven't played Undertale, so close your eyes for about 20 seconds. Anyway, so about the future, I want to make a more Danganronpa wrestling stuff. Like, I kind of want to make an actual visual novel, because I think that'd be fun. And I started watching WWE a lot more now, so I would like to include superstars like Sasha Banks, the Boss, The New Day. I know Xavier likes Danganronpa, so if he was in one of these, I'm sure he would give me a shout out or something. That'd be cool. Finn Balor's pretty sick. Seth Rollins came back, I like him. Oh, and AJ Styles is pretty cool too. And for phenomenal. The phenomenal AJ Styles. I can't wait to see him beat the crap out of John Cena. And for Danganronpa characters, I want to include Nagito because he's the best. And Togami, everyone likes Togami, or some people like Togami. Everyone hates Yasuhiro, but I like him, so I want to put him in it. And I recently started watching Lucha Underground, and I kind of want to make a Danganronpa Wrestling Underground too. Alright, so let's move on to the trivia portion of this panel.